Hi, everyone. Okay, we're here. Hey, what's up, everyone? How are you? Um, Tommy, Jaren or Yaren? Big A, Daniel, Zach, David, Bianca, Chris, Alice. What's up, everyone? Aren't you the guy who made it expensive to get HIV? Yes, I am. Let's look at SYM. That one's been a that one's down a lot today. I guess they don't have accountants or something. I don't know. SYM. This was a weird company when I looked at it. They make like wholesaler or like retailer software. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so it's 23 bucks. It was 33 bucks or 36 bucks yesterday. So a little bit of a sale. But it was 17 when I looked at it. So I don't know that some people think that gravity applies to the stock market. It doesn't really work that way. Wait a second. What's going on here? Okay. Yeah, so we talked about it basically at the bottom, I think. And it basically doubled, and now it's back down. Late filing notice. Okay. Oh wow, they had a huge beat, and now they're basically saying the beat was fake. And next quarter's beat, or next quarter's guidance is going to be, looks like 15 million lower, and EBITDA will be 15 million lower. This is tricky. It's never good to have an accounting crisis. It's kind of like the worst thing that can happen to a business. But at the same time, I don't know. If you feel like gambling, it could be a long. Certainly feels like supply and demand. Supply exhausted demand at around noon. It's been low volume since then. I don't know, maybe it's worth a little bet. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep an eye on it. Okay, let's do MicroStrategy. We haven't done that one yet. This crackhead company. I should tweet that I'm doing MicroStrategy. That'd be kind of funny. How to do. We're going to do our best. But yeah, it's a good question. How do you value MicroStrategy is definitely a good question. No, I'm still short Sava. I shorted a little more today, actually, when it was up around 4. Okay. This will be entertaining. Maybe an influx of people. We'll see. Analyzing the enigma known as MicroStrategy. I guess X doesn't like it when you tweet a link either, so let me see if I can do this. I need a new keyboard too. Let's see. Okay. Good old MicroStrategy. I hope you guys can see my screen okay. I'm on a Mac laptop, so I'm in dire straits over here. At least from a financial workflow perspective. I also want to talk to some of my convert friends and see what they think. Because this whole thing is fueled by convertibles, right? All right, I also want to know what the difference between their Class A and Class B shares are. But I assume that they're both economic shares. So this is a 79 billion market value. Do I have that right, chat? Digital assets. Okay, so that counts to me as cash. But we'll do like a, I don't know, Bitcoin section maybe, so we can actually just calculate that price more easily. Yeah, Macs are really painful. Okay, so 4.2 in debt. I got 79 billion. Oh, are you guys converting is there some weird thing you're doing? Well, they're using debt to buy the Bitcoin, which is fine. That's their kind of game plan. Okay, so here's the number of Bitcoin held. So we can kind of use that to, just give me a second. We can use that to estimate the present value every second of it. Okay. So 252,000 Bitcoin. Do I have this right? So they have $23 billion worth of Bitcoin. I think I have this right. Yeah, 23 billion worth. But they have it on the books at, I guess, carrying costs, so it's 7. I'll look at the news. Relax, I know. I'm just looking at the 10Q. Believe it or not, I know how to analyze the stock. I know. It's crazy. Okay, so real cash is 46,343, 1,862. $4,211 debt. So the enterprise value is $75 billion. You're paying $75 billion more than the value of MicroStrategy. Okay, let's look at the 8K. Okay, so there's 2029 zeros. $55 premium. And this is 1119. And this is $3 billion. Okay, so there's another 5 million shares sold. And that raised 2.46. Okay, so let's see, 2.46 and 3. Or 2,970 minus 5,400. Okay, that makes sense. And now they have 386,700. Okay, so you're paying $62 billion extra for MicroStrategy. What is the BTC yield? We do have to add the older converts to the extent they convert. There is a method for this called the treasury method. Okay, so you're paying $81 billion to buy... Let me see here. Nope. Okay, so it's about... It looks like 81 billion to buy 37 billion of Bitcoin. So another way to put it, I guess, would be the value of the Bitcoin per share in MicroStrategy is $176. So it should be trading at $176. I'm trying to think of a creative way to think about this that makes it make sense. Because right now I'm having a hard time having it make sense, but I'm trying to be creative. So even if you assume his cost of capital is 0, okay? So let's assume this is a different world. This is Sailor World, okay? And we're going to imagine in Sailor World, he can sell shares. Okay, this is interesting. He can sell all the shares he wants of MicroStrategy at a 2x price. Let's assume this is a crazy Sailor World, okay? So his cost of capital is lower than 0. That's not sustainable, obviously. Because let's say you're a lender, okay? You're convertible bond arbitrager. I know guys that run convert funds. So the way convert funds work, in case anybody doesn't know, it's a little more complicated than meets the eye. So in essence, you are buying this convertible, and I've sold convertible bonds with Barclays. They did a great job, by the way. If you need a good bank to run a convertible offering, they're good. So your convertible notes have some kind of coupon, and it's usually not 0, but it's very, very low. And so this allows like smaller, shittier companies to sell debt, but it's not really debt. It's got debt character and equity character. So it's somewhere between debt and equity, depending on a few different things. So when you have a really low coupon and a low conversion premium, let's say you have a $100 stock, okay, and you're the CEO of this company, and you're sick of and this is, let me just show you kind of how my company worked. And you have 20 million shares outstanding. So you have a $2 billion company, and you need cash for something. But you're sick of selling shares. I could go and sell 2 million more shares of my stock with Goldman Sachs or somebody like that and raise 200 million and put that on my balance sheet. Right? Let's say my cash is running low. I have 50 million, and I want to raise 200 million. So there's a few options. I can sell 2 million shares of stock, but now my shares outstanding goes from 20 to 22. And I don't like that dilution. My shareholders don't like it. My EPS might go down. So instead, I could borrow money. So if I borrow money and I'm sort of this like struggling mid-sized company, no bank's going to really give me debt unless I have better kind of earnings profile and stuff like that. So convert is kind of in between. Otherwise, if I were him, I'd just borrow debt or do an asset-backed loan. But in any event, so the convert has like a mix of oh yeah, my face is way too big. The convert has a mix of equity and debt. So the convert is senior, so it is a serious claim on the assets of the company typically. So if you don't pay the convert coupon, you go bankrupt. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind. Convertible notes are debt. You don't pay, equity is worthless. Many companies have gone bankrupt using convertible debt. So in any event, so again, in the picture of a small company, like at the time my pharmaceutical company, we sold, I want to say around 100 million of converts. And the nice thing is the coupon's a lot less than debt you could raise. So if you raise the debt yourself, it would be like 7% or 11% or something like that. So with converts, you can get this really low coupon, which is really nice. Now, the conversion price is interesting. So I have a $100 stock here. We can make the conversion price $130. So why would somebody buy this? Well, if you buy this as an institutional holder, let's say we do this $100 million offering, and we pick a bank that we like with Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is gonna make like $3 million on this. So I receive 97. $97 million. The company does. So my cash would go up from 50 to 147. And the debt, this is debt though. So I have 100 million in debt now. So why would a hedge fund or someone like that own this? Well, it's very interesting. So from the hedge fund's perspective, so I'm sort of done here, right? I'm happy. I got my capital. Every quarter I have to pay this coupon, or every half year, and it's only $2 million a year of interest, when normally a bank loan would be like 7% or 10%. So the hedge fund that buys this convert has to think about this pretty carefully. So the hedge fund is earning the 2% coupon per year, right? So they're getting 2%, and they're getting part of that $2 million in interest. But that's not very attractive in almost any circumstance. And the reason that they're doing this is really for the conversion feature. But the conversion feature, is that really valuable? Because the stock's at 100, and the convert trades at, the convert price is 130. So if the stock went to 140, this would be a very valuable bond to have, because now you can convert it and earn a serious return. So you have this optionality. You're protected on the downside because you're senior secured. So if the company doesn't pay you, it goes bankrupt. But at the same time, if the company's stock rises dramatically, and you have like a 5-year, or 3-year conversion option. So let's say the stock goes to 200, you can just forget that this is debt and convert the stock. Now, another thing you could do, and this is what hedge funds typically do, is they'll sort of short the stock. And so what they'll do, and this is called convertible arbitrage. So they'll buy the convert and short the stock. And this is kind of probably what's going on with MicroStrategy to some extent. And there's different ways and reasons you would want to do this. So lots of different ways to sort of decide how to hedge. At significantly higher than the conversion price, most hedge funds will hedge the entire thing. But selling short allows you to have this sort of win-win. So in a bankruptcy, the convert is probably worth something because it's senior secured. But your short is going to make a lot of money if the company goes bankrupt. So you're sort of trying to mix shorting the stock with owning the senior secured. So it's a very interesting dynamic. And if you play around with the spreadsheet, you'll sort of get a sense for, okay, why and how would people do this? So as I mentioned, MicroStrategy is an $81 billion company with $36 billion of Bitcoin, really 32 after you take out the debt. So why are we paying, we should really subtract this as well. Why would we pay $390 for $156, right? That is literally the deal you're making. Well, companies aren't static, right? They're dynamic and fluid things. They tend to change. And so in Saylor world, imagine we live in a world where Michael Saylor can issue stock at 100% premium with no interest. What would happen then, and how much could he issue? So this is the pre-Saylor. This is the real world, and now we're going to take a trip into Saylor world and see what happens. So in Saylor world, he's going to issue debt. So we're going to put the debt here, and we're going to say we're going to make this $50 billion in debt. Okay, really, really crazy amount. And he's going to buy $50 billion of Bitcoin. Well, usually when you lend the money, you also short the stock. So there's a weird parity there. Now with 0% coupon, I'm not sure shorting the stock makes much sense. So you're trying to find a delta that you're willing to short the stock at. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so there's $50 billion raised, and he's willing to buy $50 billion of Bitcoin. So how much Bitcoin is that exactly? Okay, so that's 500,000 Bitcoin. So this is a pretend exercise. where he raises 50 billion in debt and buys 50 billion in Bitcoin. Okay, so let's say the share price stays the same. Let's do the conversion in a second. In this scenario, let's say Bitcoin's price stays the same. In this scenario, he's got $86 billion of Bitcoin, but 54 billion in debt because he paid for the debt. And so the enterprise value of the company actually does not change. Now, the secret sauce here is, what about the converts? What about if this debt converts to equity? So the $50 billion in converts, how would they convert? Well, let's think this through. In this world, we're doing this at a 100% premium. So it's really wacky kind of premium. $780. The bondholders can convert $50 billion in our pretend world here. And you'll see why I'm doing this exercise in a second. And that would be that many shares, 64 million more shares. So we can remove that from here, the debt, because it's no longer debt, and it just converted to shares. So if we do that, I'm just going to do it manually, plus 64. Okay, so the market cap rises. The holdings all stay the same. There's no more debt, though. And the enterprise value of this, interestingly, is better, but it's not that much better, and it doesn't make it a long. So this means that if Saylor is able to sell a zero coupon convert of $50 billion at 100% premium, not at a 50% premium, which is what he has access to now, but 100% premium, you still have an overvalued, you would still have an overvalued company. The shares outstanding would go up. I guess at 780, you would again have this massive premium. So the stock, even at 390, would still be, sort of overvalued. So that they would, basically the share price is implying that he's either going to successfully sell $50 billion of converts. Keep in mind, he just did 3. So he'd have to sell $50 billion of converts at double the stock price for this to kind of make sense. It not as a good investment, but kind of not lose your shirt. So I'm sure he'll keep selling convertibles, but can he sell 50 billion at that premium? Right now he's selling it like a 50% premium. So let's do the math if he does it at a 50% premium. Which is a lot more dilutive, needless to say. Okay, and you basically would not get it to be, obviously it's less of a long, the less of a premium he can sell, but it's a fairly ugly situation because you're still overvalued by, I don't know, like 30%. Okay, so the really interesting thing to do here, the dumb thing is to say, okay, why am I buying MicroStrategy for $156 worth of Bitcoin for $390? Anybody can do that math. But the question is, what is the implied cost of capital for MicroStrategy such that the price makes sense? And at this price, even a $50 billion convertible would not, at 50% higher price, would not make MicroStrategy long. The only reason you would buy MicroStrategy is because he's selling converts for double his stock price, 50% higher than his stock price. And to the extent Wall Street keeps believing this, he has an advantage over you. He is paying for Bitcoin with something that's 50% higher than the current price of the stock. But there's a few issues with this, which is there's only so much demand for convertibles. The more convertibles you sell, the less demand there is for them. So here, he sold $3 billion converts, and even if he sold 50 billion more, I don't think that he would have enough Bitcoin for it to be long. At some point, he actually has too much Bitcoin, and it kind of becomes an overhang, right? Does he want to own 10% of all Bitcoin? That seems like ill-advised. So anyway, let's pretend he does 100 billion of converts. Now, this is the amount of debt like an Apple would have, or maybe even more. So this is like, it reminds me of AT&T, Verizon, like the biggest debt issuers in the world have around this much debt issued. So like you're really straining maybe the capital markets and the convert market. And by the way, that's in traditional debt. So converts is a smaller section of debt and finance, where the biggest convert funds just can't handle all this paper. So like I'm not sure these banks that run convert desks or convert funds want to own this much MicroStrategy. But let's assume he sells a $100 billion piece of paper, whether in bulk or in multiple tranches, and it's a 50% conversion premium. Okay, so this is getting a little stupid, but let's try it and see what happens. So in this case, he gets to buy a million Bitcoin, which is a remarkable amount. And only in this scenario is MicroStrategy even a break even. So he would, okay, it would be worth $455. So it's a little undervalued if you assume 100 billion. It's really overvalued if they sell 50 billion. So something like 75 billion, I guess. Oh, I didn't even add the new shares. Never mind, hold on. A little math error here. Forgot to add the new shares. Okay, it's still overvalued okay, it's fairly valued if they sell 100 billion. So they need to sell $100 billion of converts and buy Bitcoin at this price with that money for the stock to be worth the current share price. Now you have to ask yourself, I sometimes call this like a reverse DCF or an imputation. So you can compute a fair value, or you can impute it. And I think sometimes the imputation is a lot more intelligent than anything else. We don't know what the future price of Bitcoin will be. The future price of Bitcoin could go down. I hate to tell you guys that. I like Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin's price goes to 50,000, which it very well may, you've got a bigger problem on your hands. If it goes to 125,000 or 200,000, then sure, you definitely are in good shape. So you have a leveraged Bitcoin position. But let's just assume, this is the price. And you can, by the way, you can hedge this with Bitcoin, right? So it does matter. It's very easy to hedge this with Bitcoin. You can literally just hedge it, and you will make money if you short Bitcoin or long Bitcoin and short MicroStrategy. At the right ratio. You have to determine the right ratio, but it should be a perfect hedge. And if not, you can arbitrage it and make some money. But think about this point, which is at current prices, you would have to sell 100 billion converts and buy 1 million Bitcoin at this price for the shares to be break even. Now, another way to look at it is, back to the real world, is what if Bitcoin goes to 150,000 per Bitcoin? It's actually still overvalued. What is the price that gives you fair value? It's something like 200,000 per Bitcoin, which could happen. It would be 220,000 BTC. So you can just long Bitcoin and short MicroStrategy. I mean, it seems pretty simple. I mean, I have no position really on whether or not Bitcoin will hit 220,000. It very well may. The bigger problem here is that the convertible bond market just isn't that interested in, I don't think, buying this paper forever. So it's funny, I don't even have to look at a balance sheet or an income statement. Well, I have to look at a balance sheet, but I don't have to look at an income statement or a cash flow statement for this. It's literally one asset, right? And there's this sort of max pain theory in the market where like the market will take a path that causes the most pain. And if you, I don't really believe in fate or anything, but like this guy also blew up in the dot-com bubble. It would be such a tragedy if Bitcoin went to like 10,000 and he was forced to sell it all. I don't know. I would short it. I would short it and buy Bitcoin as a hedge. But you have to do it in the right ratio. It might be a 2x Bitcoin, 1x MicroStrategy. I don't know that it's... I don't know that it's an even trade because you're sort of shorting a leveraged version of it. So you'd have to short one share of say $1,000 of MicroStrategy and be long $2,000 of Bitcoin. And you would have to delta hedge. And so you'd have to change that ratio as prices changed. But I think that's about right. Also, if you're just bearish on Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is a better way to short. A much, much better way to short. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's all I got on MicroStrategy for now. I'll have to sleep on it and think more about what it means. But basically, the guy has a cost of capital advantage, right? You and I have to borrow money and pay an interest. He doesn't. And he can convert his debt into his stock, which is just pieces of paper that don't mean anything. And so he can kind of buy Bitcoin for free if Bitcoin goes up. Kind of one way to look at it. It sounds like he's hesitant to do what I'm describing, which is to leverage up and sell a lot of converts. But, and of course, I think Wall Street would be worried that, okay, the only collateral I have is Bitcoin, which may or may not be useful. If it drops, it's not so useful. So another way to think about this is, okay, if he's going to be patient, then one of two things have to happen for the stock to make sense. Either Bitcoin has to rise either gradually or all at once, doesn't matter really. Bitcoin has to rise quite a lot. Or and I mean, that's really it. If that doesn't happen, the news flow for MicroStrategy will slow down, basically, and he won't be able to announce any large new Bitcoin purchases, which is reflexive on the price of Bitcoin, right? So one of the reasons Bitcoin may be up is you have a guy out there bidding for billions of dollars of it. So there's a little tiny bit of reflexivity in there. So if Bitcoin stops going up, it may start going down or stop going up, the second derivative drops, I guess, because he can't announce more purchases. And if you're in this stock for investor psychology reasons, that's a bad thing if he can't buy more Bitcoin. But he needs Bitcoin to go up to buy more. I think there's a word for that. But regardless of that word, I don't know. It's not a zero or anything, but if Bitcoin dropped at all, the fact that he's trading this big premium to Bitcoin would be really damaging. So let's say Bitcoin goes to 70,000. That's not a big deal if you own Bitcoin. You can wait it out 5-10 years if you had to. Lord knows people have done that before. Nobody's been used to a cycle of Bitcoin that's really negative for many, many, many years. Most people have waited out as a few years. But it's an asset. Its price is unpredictable. It's a random walk. If you own it, you hope it goes up, you're bullish, fine. But, there is no guaranteed crystal ball, especially now that it's a $2 trillion asset or what have you. It's certainly, I guess there's 21 million Bitcoin, right? So, yeah. It's hard for things to go that asymptotic. And I almost feel like at this point, like a strategic Bitcoin reserve and or the other possible bull cases for Bitcoin are somewhat baked in, like they're very known. So what surprise do we have left if you're bullish on Bitcoin? I was long a lot in the 70,000 range when I was personally pitching the strategic Bitcoin reserve to the Trump administration. And it felt like, that could be a big catalyst, but, it didn't really, it's now consensus. And if that's not a catalyst, I don't know what is. I kind of look at the world that way. Like, if the supply-demand imbalance is that tight, that, like, news of a Bitcoin strategic reserve purchased by world governments and corporations is like, okay, I'm just going to rally 20%. It's like, what the fuck? That's it? It just sort of means that everyone's on the sell side of the transaction. They're like, okay, I'm out. So I think there's a little bit of that happening. I want to see Bitcoin be the one world global currency, but the funny thing about that is it doesn't mean the price of Bitcoin has to go up. In fact, we could completely replace our monetary system and Bitcoin doesn't have to change a penny. There's just not that much liquid cash out there. And when you price things in Bitcoin instead of dollars, the amount is arbitrary. You're really pricing dollars. So, I don't know, I'm a little confused by some of it, and some of it is just like indulging a bit of a fantasy just to indulge it, but I'm a bit skeptical. But again, the nice thing is it's an arbitrage, right? You could just short MicroStrategy and long Bitcoin. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, how can he outpace, by borrowing money, how can he outpace your purchase of Bitcoin? Especially if you do 2-to-1 ratio. So you basically get a free put in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops, he gets hit way harder than your long. So yeah, I mean, I think Bitcoin can keep going up, but I still think you get your ARB. I'm short Cassava, I'm short MicroStrategy, I'm short DJT. I'm starving for some longs. There's some good farmer longs. There's this little never do well company that makes their own GLP called Viking. They're okay. But we can look at some other stocks. I don't know. There's a lot of people who want to look at stocks. I'm going to go to this requests thing and do one by one. This is some software I built called Godel that's hoping to take on Bloomberg. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, what is your take on RX, and tech bio in general? Okay. So this is something a lot of people don't understand. It's going to piss some people off, especially some friends of mine in Silicon Valley. The biotech industry bottleneck is not in the technology. The bottleneck is in the clinical development. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to hear. There's these companies like Crystal Pie and others that are like doing very cool preclinical tools. But once those tools are done, you have to develop the drug the normal way, which is like phase 1, phase 2, etc. So there's nothing special about having like a good set of tools. People have been doing machine learning, I hate to tell you this, in drug discovery for a really long time. This isn't new to us, and it doesn't help that much. So I'm really, sort of skeptical of assigning value, like actual value, to any company that's just like parading that they're going to do ML to make drugs, because you don't need ML to make drugs. The best chemists I have just work by hand, like pen and paper. I was okay. I mean, some of them have upgraded to looking at protein structures online, or on the computer, but it really is not, AI doesn't solve everything. It's the bigger use of AI in medicine is actually controlling through PubMed. That's where GPT and O1 and stuff like that is really helpful. But I don't think it's that helpful to actually do the drug discovery side. And I know people are trying to do like protein language models or whatever, large protein models. I think some of this stuff is a little nonsensical. We have had things like Amber and GROMACS for a long time. Like, it's a different... You're trying to put a screwdriver to something that's not a screw. And that's a temptation in technology all the time, but does it actually make sense? And I think you can't ask NVIDIA people that, as smart as they are. You have to ask drug people that, like real dyed-in-the-wool Pfizer guy or Merck guy, and just be like, hey, I want to show you this idea, et cetera, et cetera. And if 20 minutes later, if they're not doing cartwheels, it's not going to change the pharma world. And I guarantee you they're not doing cartwheels. Because the hard part is still discovery biology and what target am I going after and what do I see in the clinic, and that kind of stuff is the hard part. You can throw all the GPUs in the world at this problem and it's not going to work. It will work for helping the biology. I think that's cool, but I'm not sure it works for, actually, AI drugs are not a thing. I do think there'll be a drug discovered soup to nuts by AI, but I think that's a different thing than what most of these companies are pushing. Yeah, so this company's kind of fake. Yeah, let's go to their website. Oh, I think I'm banned from using a lot of these websites because I was spamming the Cassava site. Yeah, there you go. I was spamming the Cassava site with a Python script I wrote to... So anyway, our AI-driven drug discovery pipeline. But the problem is, like, half of their drugs are not even AI discovered. So CDK7, like all of pharma has one of these. You don't need AI for that. I don't think they used AI. CDK12, or no, RMB39. Okay, could be more interesting. MALT1, other people are doing MALT, and it's not too exciting. LSD1 is really bad. Nobody wants that. This drug was not discovered by AI. It's an old drug. MEK is really old. So like this AI drug company, none of this stuff is actually exciting. HDAC's really old and shitty. ENPP1 is another target that people have known about. I was working on ENPP1 10 years ago. So, I'll look at this one, which looked okay. Identified by the recursion OS. Like, this is just bullshit. The recursion OS. Like, look, I'm all for using technology in creative ways, but it's just not happening anytime soon. I don't think. Yeah, I like Viking. No, ML and finance, people have used ML in finance successfully, and they will continue to do that. Deep learning is going to transform finance quite a lot, I think. I think Numora and Anavax are both companies that have some valuation issues, but I don't know which one is a better short, or like if I would short a lot. Like, I'm not that confident yet, so calm down and wait for more research. Trust me, I'll let you know if I have a really high conviction idea. You don't want to force things when you invest. If you force things, you sort of end up losing money because you can't force profits. I used to try to do that. It's just not wise. Forcing the issue is the market's not going to cooperate. The market will absorb you, and that'll be that. This does not look right to me. Aha. The pharma market cap is over $5 trillion. So if you take all pharma companies combined, it's like one Google plus one Microsoft. Interesting way to look at it. You know what's really interesting is Novo Nordisk, because theoretically, Ozempic's going to have patent expiry. It's kind of a bad thing. It's really their main thing. So we should look at that. What do you guys think? It's Denmark's pride, $500 billion company, the second biggest pharma in the world. Shark Ninja? The fuck is Shark Ninja? Shark Ninja Inc. I mean, that's a pretty awesome name, actually. Bristol Myers is up a ton. I guess that's because Cobenfy is not going to have a competitor. Regeneron is down a ton. A lot of people want me to look at Regeneron. Maybe we should. 756. Well, Eylea is going generic, so that's kind of like a big problem for them. All these companies think that diversification is a bad thing, and then it hits them in the ass. They're like, oh yeah, it would have been nice to have two drugs. You know, Regeneron has Dupixent, which is one of the greatest drugs ever made, but again, Eylea is still economically very important to them. The thing about drugs that you need to know is that pharmaceuticals, once prescribed, very rarely will stop being prescribed. Guys, please do not give me advice on how to work. I appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, don't do that. I don't know what ACOG is, actually. But I'm curious. If Michael Bigger's talking about it, I'm interested. Yeah, I put out an ad last night, Temporal, for a backend developer. So we use your typical financial sort of large data stack. So that's Spring Boot, Kotlin. We use this database called ClickHouse. Yeah, I'm long. I like Moderna. You're welcome. I like Viking. We bootstrap. We bootstrap. I want to show you guys some quantitative investing. Maybe even use some of the APIs to show you that. Yeah, the front end is just React and vanilla JavaScript. Sounds like a soul-draining job. I don't think so. I think working with me is one of the most exciting things you could do with your life. If you want to build something that's worth billions of dollars, choose your own destiny in life, earn 5% of that, billions of dollars, make hundreds of millions of dollars for yourself, building something that nobody thought you could build, working with a team of teammates that are like, almost like family, working day and night to see how you can outfox gigantic companies and watch it happen before your eyes. It's one of the most exhilarating things in the world. I mean, I'm addicted to it. I almost never want. Oh, okay. I almost never want to give up being an entrepreneur because it's so much fun to watch something to go from 0 to 1. It's like the greatest privilege in the world, and probably more fun than the money is watching the young guys who are really making the things happen take risks, hustle, watching them make bets, sometimes betting their whole life on something, an architecture or a feature or whatever. And they make this big bet and they earn it. And there's nothing that brings me more joy. I get tingly even talking about it, like signing that equity check over of like 1% or 2% of the company or whatever it is a bonus. And it's like, this is like $60 million or something, and it's just like, you earned it. So it's a really fun job from my perspective. And certainly doing something that I love, is a lot of fun too. I can't believe how much Chegg has risen since we started buying it. It's probably not a buy anymore, just because it's gone up so much. And I think a lot of people invent new reasons to own a stock. You have to really avoid doing that. People do this all the time. They buy a stock, say for like Chegg for $1.50, and it goes up to $2.30, and then they're like, well, at $1.50, they're like, yeah, I'm really hoping to get like $2.50. And when it hits almost $2.50, you're like, yeah, I'd really like to see 3 or 4 because and you just come up with new reasons. And it's a really stupid thing to do. Just sell, it's okay to just sell. When you get married to a stock, you lose a lot of money. When you marry someone you love, don't marry a stock. They're not going to love you back. AVXL, I looked at it. I'm going to look at it really carefully. It looks like a total scam, I have to tell you. But there's a big difference between looks like and actually diving in and really, really having the conviction. There's two really different things. There's a lot of stuff that looks like a scam. You don't just look at something for 10 minutes and make it, some crazy sized position. I think, I'm going to take my time looking at that. It certainly looks like a low science, low credibility approach that's like just not sophisticated, and it kind of does look like the next cassava, to be honest, but I'll let you know when I feel like it's really in dire straits. I'm not even sure I believe in the whole sigma receptor thing, to be frank. So that's, kind of one of the biggest things I think nobody's really looked at on this thing. I'm a little suspicious about sigma. I know they've been sort of advancing that idea for a long time, but I'm not sure the biology is there on sigma. So that's where I want to spend a bunch of time. And then on the clinical trials, like, we don't have any visibility. Like, we're not getting these NDAs. We're not seeing the raw data. And it looks like the raw data is, you know, subject to interpretation according to them. So that's dangerous, to the least. But yeah, I'm sort of struggling to find good longs. You know, like TARS was a good long, and TARS went up by 2x. And then ADMA is still a good long, I think. But it's not like the home run of home runs. Biohaven is actually pretty interesting. Although they dropped a drug yesterday, Biohaven is actually kind of cool. What else? Yeah, there's some interesting software companies. As I learn that sector more and more, I have been doing pretty well in that sector. But yeah, Regeneron could be the one to like really spend some time on, because let's see what happens to Regeneron if ILEA disappears. Okay, so this is my Regeneron model. All these models, by the way, are on my GitHub, so they're totally free. They're just my notes and analysis of earnings and stuff like that. So let's see what happens to ILEA if ILEA gets a biosimilar next year. Oops. I'm on a laptop, so I'm not going to be wizard on Excel right now. So all of you people who expect that, my typical Excel wizardry, you're not going to see it. Okay, so they reported Q3. I don't know what they reported, by the way. But let's fill in some numbers. Let's just assume it was flat. Oh, they have ILEA HD now. Forgot about that. Okay, let's just assume that. Libtayo is actually selling okay. Praluent should be selling better because Amgen's version of that is selling really well. If Kiza's not worth anything. Okay, so it's really the Sanofi Dupixent kind of relationship that's doing really, really well. So Bayer is also, that revenue is also going to dry up. So what do we have at Regeneron without ILEA? That is basically the analysis that we have to do. And we will do that. And my guess is it'll be roughly the current stock price. That is the upshot. You know, when you do this kind of analysis, unfortunately, you can do this really exhaustive analysis, and 90% of the time, the stock price you predict is going to be the stock price that it is. And why is that? Markets are efficient. You know, there's not much else to it. There's buildings full of people looking at Regeneron every day. You know, they're going to mostly get it right. It's a stock market. That's just what it is. All right. So we'll do a little calculations like this. And we'll try to like get a core Dupixent value. Eventually Dupixent will go generic too. You know, as a kid, I used to look at these antibody companies and say, oh, it's never going to go generic. Shit's changed. That's, those days are over. Right, let's go to 2035. Assume ILEA becomes like irrelevant. I guess I should superimpose like how Herceptin and Rituxan are doing at Roche. Let's assume that Sanofi gets more Dupixent. Tendies, is that what Alex Carp says? Is really funny. It's like super serious company. He's like, the Tendies will be ours. What the fuck? I mean, it's awesome, but it's also like, yes, sir. The Tendies are here. Very well. Meeting with the CIA as a client. They're like, so what the fuck are Tendies anyway? Chicken Tendies, sir. I don't know. Let's try something like this. This feels like painting to me. Just like happy little numbers, happy little trees. Okay, so this is kind of what I sometimes call a runoff model. So basically, in the company right now, harvest everything. What does that cost? Or what is that worth? And that's one way to do an analysis. It's not the best way, by the way. There's lots of other ways to do it, but it's a good starting point, right? Like the worst case scenario is it's worth this much. That's kind of, I think, a decent way to look at it. So in these runoff models, you don't include R&D as an expense because R&D isn't really an expense. It's more of an investment. And And this company has really remarkable cost structure. Like, in fact, Sanofi really, actually, Sanofi's really footing the bill for marketing, right? So do we have any costs? I think this is generous enough, but that's an interesting question. Okay, we do pay taxes in Trump's America, I think. But all other manufacturing is in like Ireland or something, so let's assume that's the tax rate. Now at maturity, we're going to assume cash flow drops by, say, 3% a year. Okay, and then our discount rate, pharmaceuticals have very low discount rates. That's one of the advantages of this industry is that, again, once you're on a pill or an injection, you're not going to stop taking it for the love of God. Just because it's what keeps you healthy. It takes a lot to move somebody off a drug. Let's see. Again, I'm on Mac, so I'm kind of in Excel hell right now, but all right. Moment of truth. Oh yeah, need a discount rate. All right, so not a lot actually. Less than I thought. And then we have to add the company's cash and other assets. So that includes like pipeline and whatever. So if you add the cash and subtract the debt, you're basically getting to their market cap. Again, my suspicion was that this would be fairly valued. And it roughly is. Our calculation was 79 billion, the market's 87. And we're not including pipeline, which their pipeline's okay, I guess. I have to look at their most recent pipeline. Some of those pipeline assets are old. If Eylea drop off, I guess, isn't as fast. Let's say this like HD guy drops off really slowly, and I don't know. This is when you start to like poison your model, and you like, no, I want it to be higher. Even here, you don't get some massive share price. So you need something to come through in the pipeline. And well, we can look at the pipeline. I mean, that's not too hard. Again, I need a new IP address because of this insanity that I just tried to do with Cassava's website. It's kind of a DDoS. Sorry, guys. I was going to say it wasn't intentional, but it was intentional. I just wanted the news before everybody else. Is that such a crime? Is that so bad? Don't answer that. Okay. Let's look at these drugs one by one. Okay, birch allergy. Okay, they should not be developing that drug. Birch allergy is not gonna work. This is Intellia's drug. You guys know I have a history with that company. The CD3 bispecifics are kind of like everyone's got them. IL-33 could be okay. Actaven A has been around. I don't think pozelimab is going to do very well. This drug's not going to do well. This drug's probably not going to do well. Myostatin's back. Could myostatin work for obesity? That's what I think Novo Nordisk has one too. That could be interesting. Okay, Factor 11 sucks. TMPR S6 probably wouldn't be a big drug regardless. Some of these drugs could add up. IL-2 is so dead. Okay, NPR1. I don't know what that is. Leptin receptor antibody. Hasn't that been tried? Oh, HSD is back. HSD 17. I don't know if anybody is old enough to remember Tularic. Yeah, this pipeline kind of sucks. But all it takes is one drug that we didn't anticipate. So, never say never. It's kind of tough being antibody shop right now. Yeah, I don't see anything really exciting here. Gene silencing for Huntington with Alnylam, maybe. They need a pipeline. They need an acquisition. Yeah, at this rate, Regeneron's kind of a dog. That's a shame. Huma's a short. Huma's a fake company. Huma's a totally fake company. I do want to like get my thoughts together on that one, but like Huma's this like really fake weird company. But I might want to build a big position first because it's basically this company that has this like fake vein graft that they want to sell for this exorbitant amount, but it's never proven that it's better than a plastic vein graft. So plastic vein grafts are somewhat useful and they're very, very like dependable. So, and they're cheap. And hospitals are really notoriously like dislike drugs that are like not, I'm sorry, devices and products that aren't like super cost effective. So they're not going to be interested in, you know, this kind of a product unless it's really cost effective. I'm looking for a plug, so I'm out of batteries. I might have to end the stream. Okay, I found a power supply. Okay, we're back. We're so back. All right, what else? Okay. Yeah, that works. Sure, yeah. So Hume is a weird one where they're supposed to have approval, but they don't. And it's just like really weird situation that they're in. Yeah, no, we could definitely do that, Michael. We'd do whatever. For the right person, we'll do whatever. I'll jump through hoops. Just send me an email. Most promising drug in development? I'm not sure even how to answer that. There's a lot of cool drugs. I don't get that many emails a day. I do want to look at Gilead and Vertex. Gilead 92.46, Vertex 464. I already updated those prices at least. But yeah, it's amazing how Regeneron has slid, but it's still not that attractive unless they can show that ILEA curve, erosion curve is going to be okay, or that they have an actual pipeline that's worth something. Sad, because I was like Regeneron, they're the Genentech of the East. Should we look at Alnylam? I have something personal against this company, so not that that should mean anything, but let's take a look at Alnylam. Okay, so here's the quarterly revenue. Amvuttra is their new star drug. And the question is just how big can this drug get? I guess Onpattro patients are switching, clearly. And then Givlaari is kind of steady Eddie. Okay, Oxlumo, another steady Eddie. Okay. So I kind of want to refresh on what it is exactly that this drug is, other than a TTR amyloidosis drug. Helios A. Right, what else is going on with this company? Other than building the TTR franchise. There's Helios B. So I guess it could be a multi-billion-dollar drug. It's already a billion-dollar drug. There's a Huntington's drug. They're killing this drug, ketohexokinase. Okay, I should listen to the conference call. So I guess when Amvuttra label expansion happens, what kind of revenue could they do? It's pricing in a lot. A lot of people want to see RKLB. So this is a company called Rocket Lab. I will take a look at this for you guys. Whew. Space company. I'll do my best. No guarantees here. Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab. It's an Elton John song, right? Pretty sure. It's a good parody. Yeah, if I ever get involved in this stock, I'm going to do the Rocket Lab song. Pray I don't get involved in it, though. $496 million shares outstanding. Great. I get the sense everyone's long this, so I'll try not to shit on it too hard. This is like the poor man's SpaceX. this is Q2. They have a whopping $155 million of equipment. You can always kind of tell how far a company's progressed with their PP&E. I don't know what's causing like an out of memory error. Maybe I need to reset my browser or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know that I want viewers. Viewers are... I love you guys, but it's not why I'm here. I love looking at stocks for people, but it's almost like I don't want too many. People find it organically, you know? Give me 1 second. I'm going to go on mute real quick. Okay, guys, I'm going to just switch computers real quick. Or switch locations. Okay, sorry about that. Cool. Okay. Rocket Lab. What is this thing all about? I posted pics with wifey. God damn it. Okay, what the fuck is wrong with Mac, man? I literally type in Shift Q and I go to the search bar for some reason. Like, what the fuck? Okay. So these guys have revenue. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's see. We don't say long on, we just say long. I don't have a strike price for DJT. I just think it's overvalued and it's going to go down. I am short MicroStrategy, yes. I mean, none of these are particularly high conviction bets. Jake, you gotta chill out, dude. What are you, edging or something? No computing? There is no tool like this. Why don't you go ahead and build one? Thanks a lot, Patrick. No number pad. You know I love you guys. Yes, we do have an affiliate program. It's right on our front page.
I'm banned off Wall Street Bets because Wall Street Bets is for idiots, and I just don't qualify anymore. Matt Nacktrap's qualified to be on Wall Street Bets though. He's very good. He's perfectly qualified. I think Vikings long. I'm no position on. No position on Rocket Lab. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's Ponzi-like. I don't think there's anything Ponzi about MicroStrategy. It's a Bitcoin holding company. I don't see the Ponzi part. A long time ago when Wall Street Bets was really small. I probably would not short Palantir. Just because a stock is overvalued doesn't necessarily mean it's a short. Short has to have some market psychology where like something's going to change. Because companies can have a pausing period where they grow and then they fall, or they grow and then the stock keeps going up, or there's so many different permutations. I think you have to think about it more clearly than just company's overvalued, quote unquote, because you really can't tell if a company's overvalued without looking at what the next 5-10 years looks like. Because otherwise every company like Nvidia would always be overvalued and you'd miss Nvidia. That's why I try to do long-term discount rates, and like I said, try the imputation trick, because it's really helpful to see, okay, well, what can they reach the expectations the market set for them? That's I'm sure Bitcoin might touch 100K just based on volatility. It seems like it will, but I don't know. Can somebody ban this kid? You're done. You're done, young hug. You're done. Adios. Nice knowing you. See you later. Rest in peace. F's in the chat. Somebody shoot him down. It's over for you. Come on, one of my shooters has to hit him. One of you mods. Yeah, he's done. It's over. Andy shot him. Good night. Take a dirt nap. We used to do the rose emoji when we put a hit out on one of the chat members. Order filled. Rest in peace, Bozo. Okay. So what the hell does this company sell? Okay. Sir Peter Beck. Okay, sir. It should be SER. Sir Peter Beck. End-to-end space strategy. Small and medium launch. Backlog 1.05 billion. I think it's a short, Stefan. I don't think that trial works. But when is it coming? They're lying to us. When the fuck is it going to come? They've been saying the data's coming any fucking day now for a year and a half. In the arms of an angel. We banned your silly ass. Yeah, the one square mile, exactly. The Scottish scam. Okay, there's something called Neutron. Commercial satellite constellation customer. Neutron and Electron. Yeah, I think Huma is a scam, but I don't have the conviction to like go all in yet. So they're third behind SpaceX and NASA. Thanks, Average Dad Gamers. How are they launching stuff if their PP&E is only 155 million? They're saying they have positive adjusted EBITDA. %32 gross margins. Okay. I don't know about small cost. Margins are really low. Okay, so theoretically, you could... Okay. That's actually not horrible. This is actually not horrible. I expected something horrible. The guys in my office have been doing this thing called Galaxy Gas. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. I've tried to avoid it thus far. But they said that I have to hit the gas. I don't know what that means. At a certain level of users, which we just surpassed. But I don't keep any canisters on me. So once I'm back in the office, I might hit the gas, whatever that is. Do you like hit the container? Galaxy Gas. Sounds spacey. Works well with Rocket Lab. Okay. So this was kind of cheap when it was like $10. I'm looking at price to gross margin, which is a creative way to look at this, but if you do price to gross margin, TTM is like 160. So 80 times gross margin. Yeah, usually I do them during market hours, but lately my schedule's been a little messed up. It is the holidays, so it's going to be a little irregular. Let's see. They have a $1 billion backlog, so that's kind of attractive. Where'd Nitrous at? I have to pay Kanye a visit. I just don't have anything that creative to do. He's a creative genius, you know? But I don't know. I want to help him on his business endeavors. Okay, 231. Where is Tesla's revenue coming from? Or SpaceX's. And what's SpaceX's revenue? 8 billion. It's probably also low margin, right? Yes, Jeff. Let me see here. Yeah, we only sell a monthly subscription right now, but let me try this. What is your best guess as to SpaceX's gross margin? The fuck? I need a gross margin number. Listen, you're not being helpful, you asshole. Give me an estimate of SpaceX's gross margin percentage, or I will go to Claude. You are useless. Okay, let me try his friend 01. Hey pal, give me a percentage approximation of SpaceX's gross margin. Okay, 30 to 60%. Interesting. I do want to say hi to somebody real quick, and then I'll be back. This is really interesting, though. Yeah, O1's an old friend. All right, guys, give me like 5-10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, the low marginness of this thing kind of scares me. You want a REPL? Like to run out of Linux? Or like an NPM package or a Python package? There's a Joe Springer video. Is he back? Low margins, tough thing. Tough thing. It's unlisted. This guy's such a beast. He hasn't made any videos in a while. But
the attacks on Cassava Sciences are so weak and lame that they are bullish. But they do hint that evil lurks, corruption lurks, as we've been saying. And we get a closer look at our mechanism of action, why this looks like it's going to be successful, and more. We got a lot to cover. Let's dive in.
So what you guys don't know is I hacked the company that is responsible for Cassava's randomization. So they mixed the placebo up with the drug. They didn't know what they were getting. And that's why the trial failed. I couldn't let this drug work. There's money on the line. You think I'm going to let... My bet is worth more than these people's lives. I can't let this drug work. So, we hired some Russians and that was it. Game over. Sorry. Shouldn't have made fun of me, Springer.
Weak attacks are bullish. They sure are bullish. Wait till you see the lame things they have to stretch and reach for in order to try to say something negative. But they do hint at the danger. These people are not going to go away.
That's right. We're not.
As we've been saying. So bullish signs, but evil lurks. The lame attacks bolster the story. Cassava Sciences has been more scrutinized than any stock, basically, in the history of
I scrutinized those ports for software vulnerabilities.
the market, and it's survived. The only thing
Didn't survive that fucking attack.
the bears have is the lawfare. Oh, we can't pin
It's not
anything
the only thing I have.
on you. We're just going to say that you
It's
did
a packet sniffing too.
something wrong. And there's the lame attacks. When we look into their attacks, they are so
Social engineering attack.
weak. It just plain bolsters the story, but it also shows us that these evil shorts and the evil people that have incentive, the parties that have incentive to destroy Cassava, aren't going to stop. So wrong shorts can still do damage. We'll take a look at the ever more compelling mechanism of action, the 4 catalysts that'll get us to $1,200 a share.
1,200. God damn. That's They call that activist investing.
And why the trials will succeed.
Hold on. I want to hear that again. That was great. That was great. If only the way you said it mattered.
Why the trials will succeed.
Hey.
So here are the lamest attacks
Whoa, hey,
ever.
there I am.
We have mechanism of
Should
action.
have never used my name, Joe. Should have never done that. You don't understand this. I'm Albanian. Una yam shqiptar. That means I am Albanian, by the way. It's like the 3 words I know. And you kind of fucked with the wrong guy. Because, now all the patients that were supposed to get drug, half of them got placebo. The people that were supposed to get placebo, half of them got drug. I don't take chances. Yeah, the science didn't look good. It was unlikely to work anyway, but why take chances? Right? And the guy who did the hack job, that got into that database and switched everything up, I have a little secret for you. He's dead.
The 4 catalysts that'll get us to $1,200 a share, and why the trials will succeed. So here are the lamest attacks ever. We have
Okay, let's go back to Rocket Lab. I've had enough fun with these guys. Don't type that shit. My lawyers right now are like, hey, prepare Shkreli another retainer letter. We're going to need 6 more attorneys on this. Honestly, he's going to stay up at night thinking about that. Like, that motherfucker. He's with Mossad. Literally Mossad. Yeah, I'm an asset. So what? So what if I'm an Israeli asset? I don't give a fuck. Whoever pays me, I work for them. Alright? Simple as that, Joe. A little lesson you need to learn yourself. Money makes the world go round. Okay? My loyalty, I sell that to the highest dollar. I'm working for Mossad today. Guess what? I'm working for Gaza tomorrow. I don't care. Today I'm Long Live Israel. Tomorrow I'm Allah Akbar. Simple as that. Try and stop me. Alhamdulillah. No, right now I'm not on that team. I work for the Israelis right now. Shalom Shabbat. You know, part of the problem with the Trump movement is that now everyone's interested in conspiracy theories. And not everything is a conspiracy theory. I just hate to tell you. Everyone in Europe is anti-Semitic. It's pretty crazy. I would say it's funny, but it's not. Europe, I kind of understand. It's weird when you see it in New York, because, like, I don't know if you guys know, there's a lot of Jewish people in New York, and they did help build New York, and it's very bizarre to see it in New York. Okay. So, man, Rocket Lab's probably fairly valued. Well, that's good to hear, Wellbus. Being anti-Semitic isn't a compliment. There's a lot of, like, I don't know. internalized Jewish hate from generations in Europe, and it's just bizarre. The stock increase comes from good news and successful launches. That is one way to think of it. Another way to think of it is, 10 years of cash flow. You do you. I don't know anything about a market crash or whatever. I can look at a couple stocks, but I don't know about market crashes. All right. So, I don't know. This seems kind of sketch. Well, 32 ain't a whole lot higher than where it's at. It's at 26. So if you think you can discriminate $6 on DCF, I don't know. I don't know the industry. Like, I have to look at the industry a little bit more closely. I like it. Ship 3037 is funny. Doesn't Burry predict a crash every week? So with no taxes and with like super gigantic growth, you can get the stock to double. But this scenario I'm painting here is very unlikely to happen. Matt is maturity rate, discount, cash flow maturity. Yeah, I mean, I'll try to learn the space a little bit more. So what will launch revenue be for this industry? And how do these guys compete against SpaceX effectively? Is it different, like heavy versus light or whatever? What will drive demand for launch? How can launch margins grow? A lot of questions. It probably will still have momentum. Like, just trying to put my trader hat on. I'm not very good at trading, by the way. I'm very good at investing in long-term stuff. I mean, I'm not a terrible trader. It's not my forte. You guys want me to buy or sell RKLB? What do you guys want to do? Who wants to gamble? Gamble, gamble. Buy, sell. Should we roll dice? Yes, that's right, Albert. For now. That's not going to stay forever. Oh shit, this thing. Google has a thing. You're right. Okay, if it's 1 to 3, I'll buy. If it's 4 to 6, I'll sell. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, and it's 1, which means you got to buy extra. Okay, let's buy. See if we can buy 1,000 shares. Let's go. Now, if you fucks, you fucks out there, fuck this up for me. I want this stock to be 26 or 27 tomorrow. Tomorrow. The dice said so. Okay, that makes me at least want to look at this. Now I have to look at it. Right? Dice method. The short ladder attack, that's only if you get 3 6s in a row. Then you hit the short ladder attack. And you get the phantom shares going. Trust me, I will sell this in a second if I see anything wrong with it. Gamble. Gamble, gamble. I think I could afford the $20,000 speculation on the rocket company. I think I'm gonna be all right. Gonna be all right. These are, I mean, these pictures are cool. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. Oh, wait, is the CEO bald? No, that's just the board of directors. If this CEO is bald or fat, it's over. I sell right now and I go short. Rocket Lab CEO. Okay. Sir Peter Beck. Okay, let's see this. Let's see this physique. Doesn't look fat to me. Short, fat, or bald, or tan. Those are the 4 things. We sell all. Bezos is different. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. New evidence has come to my attention. What the fuck is this? See the hairline too. We got to discount future baldness. Tan is like the #1 sell indicator. Dude is tan, it's over. Sell it and short it. This guy's probably going to be bald. So just be careful for that. He is hedging. Look at these guys on the board. They're pretty solid there. Presenting at Roth. Okay, I think I have a small picture of what's going on here. Pay attention. Yeah. CFO is bald? See, I have them owning the entire launch market, and it's still not along. So keep that in mind. It's pretty expensive momentum stock, like. You think Roblox is overvalued? I think it's profitable on a cash flow basis. Yeah, I was sort of explaining the Gamma thing, Scuba Steve, earlier when you could sort of hedge MicroStrategy and the convert. Crack party. Ooh, Hume is down. Okay, so with my software, I can just do this. So I can put this on a special monitor and just make sure that it stays like that forever. Just leave that up here. Never change. Oh, I see. So if I pop out, I can't close this. So if I close this, it'll close the pop out? I don't understand. GameStop. Grr. Is this stock really that volatile? Am I up $120? Yo. I got a like $25 cup of coffee today from this like super fancy coffee place. Oh, let me short more Sava. This thing's going to fucking 2. Let me pound this a little bit. What do you guys know about pounding? Just get pounded a little bit. Tenderize it, you know? Just a little. You know what I'm talking about? No, coffee sucked. I couldn't tell the difference. Okay, let's look at Roblox. And you want to look at GitLab, okay? Let's take a look. I would call that a miracle drug. Okay, Roblox reported Q3, huh? I must have missed that. Roblox. Mom, I want to play Roblox. Mom, I want to play Roblox. Wait, wrong company. Rocket Lab, Roblox, same shit. Pull that up, Jamie. Jamie. Jamie's the best at pulling stuff up. Okay. Damn, Roblox killing it. Straight killing the game. Roblox's not really a one-product company. It's kind of a game platform. Infrastructure, trust, and safety, and toxicity. Yes, I'm from the toxicity department. The problem with Roblox is it's much lower margin than people think after you put all the trust and safety people there. It's actually kind of low margin itself. They have to pay out earnings to the game makers. But the cash flow from operations is the real trick for Roblox. Okay, so cash flow from operations 630, 7825. They have all this stock-based comp. CapEx 115, 786. So like 115, 786. I wonder if this is okay. I think I get this. This was supposed to be minus this. Okay, this makes more sense. Yeah, I mean it's like $1 billion free cash flow a year. Not quite $1 billion. Yeah, it doesn't look that overvalued. I'm not sure I'd run out and buy it, but it doesn't look that overvalued. A little bit of instinct, Sea Tanker. A little bit of knowledge, a little bit of instinct. Mom, I want Roblox. You think so, T-Sizzle?
Uh-oh. You really think so? If that's true, it's gonna come out any minute. Shit. I do want to look at the FDA. Let's see, what is it? FDA Regenerative Medicine. Wait, I had their, like, brand name somewhere. Shit, where is it? Fuck. I guess I lost it, but I had this file that had their trademark. They had, like, some weird trademarked brand name. Simvest. This was supposed to be their trademark. So let's see if there's simvest.com. Oh shit. WordPress. Here we go. Admin. Nope. Hold on, hold on. Let's see. Oh, is this their old product? I don't think so. These guys have delayed their PDUFA like a million times. Oh, yeah. We have to get rid of these class action lawsuit things. It's so annoying. Yeah, I just looked at Regeneron. Hillary Clinton short squeezing me? Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I think it's FDA delaying. Yes, we're short Huma. I'm just going to stare at this and wait for a trade to show up. Same thing with this. Just put these side by side and just wait. Also time and sales. That'd be nice, Charles. That'd be nice. I don't know. Rocket Lab doesn't look that great. I bought a little bit, but it's a very high momentum stock. It'll keep kind of going up probably if the news stays the way it is, but no dispersion. I don't think so. I haven't looked at Zyme in a while. DJT, pretty confident. They don't really have a business, do they? They don't have a business in it. I don't like Clearpoint that much. I really need a new IP address. I didn't like AVXL. Huma's really small, is Nick. Haven't looked at Synexics in a while. I thought about buying the company a while back. I don't know when they're going to get the FDA news. They should get it, right? ENSC. I don't know. Don't know it. I'll look at it at some point. How is Amgen allowed to sell biosimilar to Eylea? It's a really old drug. Eylea's been around a while. Numora, what about it? Data's out. Nope. AVXL is just like, everything about it's fake. Just like freaking cassava. But, you know, I have to look into it. Once I look into it, I can get a better sense for, like, how real or not real is it. It's preliminary. Yeah, these really small caps, I don't know. I don't know Archer either. Yeah, herpes is definitely a major unmet need. I'm interested in crypto. I think it's going to be a pretty quiet day because it's Thanksgiving starting now. Most people are going to take a few days off. I should probably join them. We don't have ACOG for some reason. Is it Pink Sheets? Or is it... Oh, this is Canadian. Alpha Cognition. Okay. Yeah, I like Moderna. I know a little bit about crypto. I know cryptography. Humacyte doesn't really have any, Oh, they might have just listed. APLT complete response letter. Oh, shit. Fuck. Halted. Damn it. How bad is this complete response letter? You think I don't know cryptography? Yikes. You should check out my crypto repos on GitHub. What is the FDA saying? This is really cringe. Clinical deficiencies. Huma's getting a CRL, yes. Maybe the FDA is sending them out tonight. Sometimes they send out all the CRLs at the same time. That'd be sick. No, I don't copy people's code. You're just jealous for some reason. I don't know why. They gave a whole lecture on ECC. No, I know people short Huma. I don't know anyone long. ECC, elliptic curve cryptography. Yeah, you know, it's better to be sure the ones you do trade. Yeah, I know a lot about IFP. What's the goal of using crypto for IFP? Yeah, I like Kafka. What's up, Ken? Ken is my mathematician buddy. I try to show how to use Godel every day. I'm also learning Lean. I don't know OSCR. I think it's bullish that, or I'm sorry, I think it's bearish. It's definitely a great thing for the Huma short that APLT got a... Oh, no, not again. FTC brought antitrust probe into Microsoft. It's 30-year anniversary of them fucking that up. It's Lena's last stand. Yeah, I get that KT, but I'm not sure what the goal is. Yes, I've been short Huma. I don't think Bitcoin breaking 100K doesn't make a difference. I hope Lena gets booted. PGHL. I don't even know what it is. Wellness check on Joe Springer. Tonight would be a great night to announce a CRL. And I think FDA wants to get them out before, you know what I mean? Before the, before vacation starts. So it kind of makes sense. Huma could be tonight. I don't know, Bobert. I don't know. You're pressuring me. Don't pressure me. I didn't look too hard into Aspie. I built the first prototype of Godel. I work on some of the functions, but it's mostly other guys. That's a good question, prequel. Bath Body Works? I haven't looked at it. The guys in my office drink Celsius. I don't know, Josh. That's a big question. The Huma will release the news, not that's for sure, not FDA. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. Huma never filed with data. It's a short, even if it gets approved. I agree. Thanks a lot, Rage Saga. Right, Jumper, exactly. Thanks, Willie. I love you guys. When you become a Godel customer, you become my boss. You could tell me what to do. I'll look at any stock for you if I have time. I'm a co-founder, yeah. No homo, no name. No homo. No homo. Huma's not gonna get delisted, no. It's not halted, I don't think. Is it halted? No, it's not halted. APLT, though. APLT is in trouble. Oh, love you, head cow. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? OpenBB sucks. Plenty of what? You trying to get banned, prequel? You trying to get banned? Someone shoot this man. Shoot this man. Okay, so where will APLT trade? Godel is the alternative to Bloomberg. Oh shit. Thanks, Sardine. China. Oh, this idiot still thinks it works. Holy moly. Colin, if there's an issue, just throw it in support and I'll get right on it. Of course I have browsers. I was single. Who is this bitch? Hit it and quit it? Nah, she a hoe. This bitch a hoe. Yo. We raised 2 million. And we're raising another 5. Faruqi and Faruqi just copying and pasting. Darren, I'm just, back and forth. Uh, you can email me if you're an accredited investor. Good question, head cow. We'll talk about that privately. I don't vape. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. My posture is killing you? My posture is killing me. Yes, let's go. I need to shave too. This POV. Meeting the family for Thanksgiving. Sure, Haley. I'm definitely Unk status. What up, Unk? I may need nudes as punishment. Sorry, Haley. I don't make the rules. I should put this on my OnlyFans. The 6-pack right here. Alright, guys. I think I'm gonna go around. Love you guys. May the next month of